And we're going to start in child's pose. So if your back is particularly stiff first thing in the morning, or if your knees don't like fully flexing, then maybe grab a bolster or a rolled up blanket and pop that behind your knees so that you can stay really lifted. And you don't have to then try to root the sit bones towards the heels, but you've got something for your hips to push back into. So if your knees need a little bit of support and you don't want to come right back into child, then yeah, do that. And then start to walk the hands forwards. So you may or may not have a prop behind you. And also, as it's first thing in the morning, let's take the knees wide. Maggie, do whatever feels right for you. So that there's a little bit more space for you to start to bow. Taking the hands forwards, and you can have the hands off your mat to the sides if that gives you a little bit more space. And for me, it's nice to have the hands right up on the fingertips, so making a tent out of the hands, and that lifts the armpits up. So we can start to engage the scapulae, engage the back of the shoulder girdle a little bit, draw the shoulder blades down away from the back of the head. And then start to find your breath. So find a rhythm of a smooth and steady inhale matched with a steady exhale. And whether your head is on the floor or not, can you start to let the weight of your head release and bow, relax the jaw. And allow the upper back to melt. And if that means you take your hands a little wider, then go ahead and do that. And start to notice the breath in the back of your body. So notice a broadening at the back of the pelvis, the back of the waist, and the rib cage. And see if you can get a sense of filling the back of your body with your breath. And letting the torso soften with the exhale. Can you feel the rib cage and the waist get broader? And then soften. And then for the next breath, start to feel, and it's more difficult in this position, but a lengthening in the front of the body with the breath. Can you feel a lengthening from the pubic bone to the belly through the chest to the throat, and even to the forehead. And again, a softening on the exhale. Finding space in the torso for your breath. And a subtle sensation of lengthening through the spine. And then with your next breath, fill the front of the body, the back of the body, the sides of your body with your breath. So there's a lateral expansion into the rib cage, as well as a broadening of the back and a lengthening of the front. Try that for a couple of breaths. And then pressing into the hands, lift the head. And you can bring the left hand a little bit more to the center of the mat. And again, take an inhale here, feeling a broadening through the sides, the back, a lengthening through the front, and then start to thread the right arm underneath, palm up. And maybe the shoulder comes to the floor, but maybe it doesn't. And again, see if you can relax the head to a degree and start to find your way into a twist. And if you're starting to feel a little bit of strain in this left shoulder, then you can bend the left elbow, face the elbow towards the ceiling, and still be reaching through with the right arm into a twist. So can you now start to feel the rotation of the spine right from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, and breathe into that twist? And can you still find a broadening in the back and the sides are lengthening through the front of the body with your breath? And then let's press down into the left hand, lift up, change sides, reaching your right arm forwards to start. Give yourself the space to begin to reach the left arm under, palm up, maybe the shoulders on the floor, maybe it's just the back of your arm on the floor. And the head may or may not be on the floor. And you can choose what's comfortable with this right hand. Maybe the elbow bends. And if you press into the right hand, can you wrap your right shoulder blade round towards the spine a little bit more, and now find your breath. And take another 2 breaths in your twist. Start to press down in that right hand. And come up, lifting the hips, walking the hands forwards. Bring the knees hip width apart. And just take it into cat-cow. As you inhale, begin to draw the shoulder blades away from the ears and feel a lengthening from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And maybe you even feel a stretch in the belly. And then with your next exhale, start to push into the hands, tucking the tail, tucking the chin as you pull the belly up towards the spine. Inhale again, feel a lengthening from the sit bones to the crown. And an exhale, feel the belly draw up, squeezing the tummy muscles to help exhale fully into your cat pose. Do one more. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to pull the belly up, round the spine, tucking the chin, the tail. Lovely. And then start to walk the hands back to the knees, bring the hands onto the hips, step the right foot forward. So you want 90 degrees if you can at the front knee. Start to roll the shoulder blades back. So we lift at the sternum, and you can place the hands on the front thigh to get that sense of lift through the front of the body. And take a breath here. Can you feel the broadening at the back of the pelvis, the lateral expansion with your breath, and a lengthening of the front of the body? And with your next inhale, sweep the arms up, keeping all of that spaciousness through the torso. This time, as you exhale, start to twist towards the right. Open the arms out, shoulder height. And take a breath here. So inhale, can you feel that broadening, lengthening through the torso? And exhale, as you tone the belly back, can you twist a little deeper? Nice. As you inhale, take the arms back to the center. Lovely. And then keep the arms lifted and start to walk the right knee out to the side. So you start to open up through the front of the pelvis. That's it. So we end up here. Nice. Start to feel a little bit of an opening through the adductors, and take your right elbow onto the right thigh. And then start to reach the left arm overhead. So your knee and your toes, even if you don't manage to keep the knee right in line with the pelvis, your knee and your toes are pointing in the same direction. Nice. And this elbow can just help to open the hip up a little bit. Now start to engage the belly. So draw up from the pubic bone to the navel, lengthening the tailbone. And then breathe into your left lung. And start to come back up and bring the right knee next to the left. And step the left foot forwards. Great. So again, you can have your hands on the hips if that helps, or your hands on the front thigh, and start to feel that there's a lengthening through the belly to lift even up to the throat. So you're not tipping the head back here. You take the ears back, the throat back. Feel a spaciousness in the front of the body, and now breathe into the ribs, into the back of the body. Keep all of that space as you take the arms up. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Nice. Take an inhale as you exhale with all of this lift and spaciousness through the torso. Twist through the center and come to twist to the left. So you're hugging this left knee in a little bit, making sure it still points to the front of your mat. And take a breath into the twist. So as you breathe in, can you feel all of that space you've been cultivating? And twist a little deeper. Inhale to bring the arms back to the center. Keep the arms lifted, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And take your left foot out to the side. So we start to open the pelvis to the top of the mat. Nice. And then bring your left elbow onto your thigh and start to reach over with your right arm alongside your ear. Take a couple of breaths here, just working this elbow to help to open up this left hip as you breathe into the right lung. Lovely, everyone. Take another deep breath. And then come back to center. Bring your right knee, left knee next to your right. And then you're going to take your sit bones as you sit down to the left, right. Sit bones to the right. So that your legs are, you're in the mermaid. I'm sure this has got a lovely name in Sanskrit, but I can't remember what it is. It begins with a B. Okay, so if you find that you're falling to the side, this is where you might grab a brick and just pop it under a sit bone, or you can fold your mat up. Just give yourself a little bit of support there. And then take both hands onto your left shin. Nice, and start to feel a twist through the torso, but can you keep the crown of the head feeling as if it's lengthening towards the ceiling? And take another breath here in that twist. Keep your left hand on the shin, start to turn the body round to the front again, and this time take the right arm over, rooting through that right sit bone and take it into a side stretch. Breathe into your right lung. Lovely. Come back up to the center. This time, this right hand is going to come behind you, the left hand onto the right thigh. And let's twist the other way. Again, can you keep a sense of lifting up through the spine? And take another breath. Great. Bring the hands round in front, lift the sit bones, and you're simply going to take the legs to the other side and come and sit on the left hip. So as much as you can, everybody's going to be different in their mechanics here. You want to try to have both sit bones on the floor. For me, I've never been able to do that. So you want a little support if you can, so that you feel as if you're able to sit reasonably straight. If you took your arms up, that you're not falling too much. Yeah, otherwise wedge a little bit of help in. Great. Lift nice and tall and start to take both hands towards your right shin, if they reach. If not, it might be the thigh. And again, can you sit tall, take the ears back, the throat back as the crown of the head lifts towards the ceiling. And you can just draw yourself a little bit further through into a twist to the right. Lovely. Keep your right hand on the shin. Start to open the body to the front. Yes, and take your left arm up and over. There we are. So as you come into this side stretch, can you feel that you're lifting out of the pelvis and then over to the right, and breathe into this left lung. Coming up to the center, the left hand starts to come down. Your right hand can come over onto the thigh, and we twist the other way. So again, can you take the throat back, the ears back, and feel as if the crown of the head's lengthening to the ceiling. Lovely. And breathe into your twist. Great. Ground your hands so that you're starting to bring your hands back to the front of the mat. Come back up onto your knees. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and draw the belly away from the floor. So we're not coming into a cat this time. You're feeling that the back is flat, but the spine supported by your belly drawing up. And then start to lengthen the right leg away and lift the right foot off the floor. So we want to be careful here that the pelvis doesn't drop towards the floor. So you're really pulling the lower belly up. Find a steadiness here. Inhale. And then as you exhale, start to hug the knee towards the nose and the nose towards the knee. Push the hands into the floor so the elbows stay straight. Inhale. Lengthen that one back out. This time, as you bring the knee in, take it towards your left elbow and squeeze into a more twisty shape. And then inhale, lengthen it out, back to the center, nose to knee, squeezing in, feel the belly muscles work. Lengthen out. Lovely. And then bring the right knee next to the left. Find a steadiness here again, drawing the belly away from the floor, supporting the spine. Slide the left leg back. Have it in line with your hips so you feel the buttocks starting to work, and maybe hug that leg into the midline a little bit. Inhale, finding length, crown to heel, and then exhale, pushing into the floor, arching the back towards the ceiling as you bring nose to knee. Inhale, lengthen out again. This time, bring that knee towards your right elbow and squeeze the belly. Inhale, lengthen back out. Last time, squeezing in, nose to knee down the center. Inhale, lengthen that leg back out. Bring the left foot to the floor, tucking the toes. And then push into the hands and find downward facing dog. Right foot next to left. And you can walk through the legs just a little to ease out some space through the back of the legs. Lovely. And then soften the knees, lift the sit bones towards the ceiling a little bit and ground from the back of your shoulder girdle into the hands. Really pushing into the hands. Nice. And breathe into all that space. So even here, as we hold this for another couple of breaths, can you feel the broadening of the back of the body with the inhale? And a spaciousness staying with the exhale. Breathe into the sides of the body, keeping that length with the exhale, and then breathe into the front of the body. Can you feel a lengthening from the pubic bone to the throat? Lovely job. And then start to walk the hands back towards the feet, grounding the heels. Keep the knees soft for a moment. Now here, if you have a brick, come and bring the brick underneath your nose, but don't worry if you don't have a brick, you can just stay on your fingertips. Bring your right hand into the middle underneath the nose. Start to lengthen the crown forwards as you straighten the legs to your own degree. Nice. So with this length from the sit bones to the crown, start to turn and twist open to the right. So you can take your left arm up, or whichever side you're doing is fine. Good. Can you keep this sense as you push into your feet of the crown lengthening forwards? And around that central axis, you twist. Nice. Exhale to release the left hand, or whichever hand you've got lifted. And start again with the lengthening forwards of the crown, then pushing into your left fingertips or into the brick. And start to twist to the right, bringing your right arm up. Lovely. If your neck feels super tight, you can look down at the floor and focus on the twist coming into the torso. Take one more breath here into the twist and then release with your exhale. Soften the knees and bow. Take a breath into the spine and then softening the knees, start to inhale, come all the way up, reaching the arms up. And then exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Well done. So we just flow a little bit through Surya Namaskar A, a version of, to get a little bit of integration of movement into the body. So coming to the front of the mat, feet hip width apart. Feel as if you're pushing the feet into the floor from the pelvis, standing super tall. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, soften the knees as much as you need to come into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen the crown of the head forwards again. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. As you inhale, take it into plank. And as you exhale, lower the body to the floor. The inhale takes you into baby cobra, shoulder blades towards the spine, lengthen forwards. As you exhale, release the body to the floor and inhale, take it back into downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Again, see, can you feel that you're lifting the sit bones to the ceiling, finding space through the torso with your breath. Great. So looking to the thumbs, inhale, lift the right leg to the ceiling. As you exhale, step the right foot forward, step the left foot forwards, lengthen the crown of the head, and then exhale into forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to breathe in, take it back up. Inhale, exhale and fold. Your inhale takes you into Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen forwards halfway. Exhale into downward facing dog, long step back with both feet. Inhale forwards into plank, you can have the knees on the floor, and exhale down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Tucking the toes, exhale, release, inhale, press back up into downward facing dog. And take 2 breaths here. Feeling spacious through the torso, the back of the body, the sides of the body, and a lengthening into the front of the body. Press into your hands a little bit more, Lisa. Take the chest towards the thighs, soften the knees. So you're really pushing the sit bones towards the ceiling, lifting up into a V shape. Yeah. There. Yeah, more. Great. Downward facing dog. Lovely. Let's look to the hands as you inhale, step the left foot forwards, the right foot forwards, lengthening the crown forwards, exhale into your fold. Inhale, push into the feet, come all the way up, and exhale, hands to the heart. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Into your fold. Inhale, lengthen forwards this time. Exhale and step the left foot back, long lunge. Great. Root the left hand into a brick or into the floor and hug the feet towards each other as you start to twist to the right. So feel as if you're lengthening the crown forwards from the heel. Hug that right knee into the center and then twist around your central axis. Good. Take another breath into your twist. Lovely. See if you can get your right thumb above your right eye. So you're stacking your shoulders. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, take the right hand back to the floor and step back into downward facing dog. Inhale forwards into plank. Drop the knees if you wish. Exhale, lower the belly to the floor. Inhale into cobra. Good. Exhale, release the belly, tuck the toes. Inhale, back into downward facing dog. Good. Take a breath here. Next time you inhale, lift the left leg to the ceiling. As you exhale, step it forwards. Help that foot if it needs it. So you're back in your long lunge. Can you feel a lengthening from the back heel to the crown of the head? Root the right hand into the floor, into a brick. Start to turn and twist to the left. Take the top arm up. Nice. Can you feel that there is length from the back heel to the crown of the head? And you twist around that axis. Lovely. Hug the left knee in a tiny little bit. Good. Exhale, bring the left hand to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. And drop to the knees. Press back into child's pose or puppy dog buggy. Sitting back, lengthen the torso forwards. The head may or may not be on the floor, reaching the hands forwards. Can you take a breath into the back of the body?
And breathe into the sides of the body. Feel the rib cage expand to the sides. And take a breath into the front of the body. Can you feel the front of your body lengthening from the pubic bone to the throat? Lovely. Start to come up, bringing the knees together. And bring the torso up, hands to the hips. Step the left foot forwards. Nice. And let's bring the right hand to the floor, lunging deeply through the hips. And turn your left toes out to the side, and the knee can follow that direction. And bring your left hand onto the left knee. As you push down into your thigh, so you're pushing the left hand right down into the foot, you start to feel that you can turn the belly to the left, and then the rest of the torso can start to follow as you turn the gaze to the ceiling. Lovely, deep twist, really nice. Take a breath. Start to come back to the center, turn the left toes to point forwards this time, and then inhale, bring the arms up above the head. Press the hands together. So before we start to take the right elbow onto the left thigh, start to twist to the left and feel that you're leading with your belly button. So the belly button starts to twist to the left. You come as far as you can, then take the hands to the heart and begin to take the elbow and hook it over that left knee. If you push the elbow into that knee, can you draw the belly round a little bit further? And now feel that you can lengthen from the sit bones to the crown of the head. Take an inhale, feel spaciousness through that torso. Exhale, pulling the belly back, twist a tiny bit deeper, take another breath. Lovely. And then release back to the center, sweep the arms up. Good, wriggle the left foot a little bit further forwards. Again, lunge deeply, take the hands down to the inside of the left foot. And then start to let the elbows draw to the sides as you bow. Lizard pose. If that feels a little bit dodgy on the left knee, turn the toes out again. Nice, and take a couple of breaths. Start to come up, walk the hands back, bring the left knee next to the right knee. Bring your hands to your hips and step the right foot forwards. Nice, sweep the arms up. Start to bring the left hand down. And as you lunge deeply through the hips, can you feel a lengthening from the sit bones to the crown? And then from there, you can either have this right hand up, or you can put it like we did on the other side, down into the thigh, turning those toes out. That's it. Yeah, go for it. So as you lunge, you turn your right toes out. The knee can follow that trajectory of the toes. And you can either be pushing your hand into the thigh to help turn all the way from that left hip. And if you want to, you can take the top arm up, open up to the ceiling. Lovely. Release that arm if you've got that up. Start to walk the left foot so it's pointing forwards, coming up, taking the top arms up. Press the arms up, rather. Press the hands together and start to turn to the right, leading with your belly button. So you're starting to twist, feel the whole of the torso twist before you then take the hands to the heart and see, can you hook your left elbow over the right knee? As you press the hands together, pushing the elbow into the knee, maybe you can feel that you can twist your belly through a little bit more. Lengthen from the tailbone to the crown. Nice, and take another couple of breaths into your twist. As you inhale, can you feel the broadening of the back and the sides of the body, and even a lengthening in the front of your body? Last breath. And then sweep the arms back up. Wriggle your right foot forwards a little bit, and the toes can point out again to give you a bit more space as you bring the hands down to the inside of that right foot, and then start to allow the elbows to bend outwards as you bow towards the floor. If you're more flexible than I am, you might be able to bring your forearms onto the floor or onto a brick, otherwise stay bowing, just with the elbows bent. Nice, take another breath here. And then start to lift the hips back, walk the hands to the center, the right foot comes into the middle, lift the back knee and step forwards, left foot next to right, into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Let the spine release, and with the knees as soft as you wish, take a breath here into the back of the body, feel the back of the pelvis, broaden the back of the waist, broaden. And then take a breath into the front of the body. And can you feel a lengthening from the pubic bone to the throat as you let the head release? Another breath here in your forward fold. And then softening the knees as much as you wish to. Sweep the arms all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, lovely. And then bring the hands to the heart. So looking down at your feet, feet hip width apart. We're going to do eagle pose, Garudasana. So bring the arms out to the sides, turn the palms up. As you start to sit the hips back, not too far here, bending both knees, start to take the weight into your right foot and lift the left foot. Cross that knee all the way over and start to hug your left foot into your right shin. You might be able to, so bend your standing leg even more so that you've got the thigh to wrap the knee round. Yeah, lovely. You might be able to hook the toes around the calf as well, which I can't do. So here then, we're going to take the, which way? The right arm underneath the left arm. Okay, so you're hooking the elbows, and you can either bring the backs of the hands together, or you might find you can take hold of the heel of your thumb. So bend your standing knee enough that you're really sitting back through the hips. And that makes it easier then to squeeze the legs together. So you want to squeeze the top calf into the bottom, the knee or the thigh. That's it. Steady gaze, well done. Good, so really bend the bottom knee. Nice, take another breath. To push into that right foot, unravel the arms, take them wide, push into your standing leg and come back, hands to the heart. Well done, we'll take that to the other side. So feet hip width apart, you want to feel that you're really centered and grounded before we take it into a balance. Take the arms out, palms up, and here bend the knees. So you're not coming down really deep like some chair pose variations, but you want the knee to be coming over those toes so that when you pick up your right foot and you hook, you cross the legs. So really hook that shin. So you start to push the shin into the standing leg. That gives you some stability. And then we wrap the arms the other way. Maybe left arm over the. Great. And start to focus your breath. So your standing leg a little bit more. And can you see, if I come and do this close, you see where the knees are? They're right on top of each other. So as if you were sitting demurely on a chair. Yes. And then you can squeeze the legs together for some stability. Lovely. Great. So focus your gaze. Take another breath. Well done. And unravel the arms, take them wide, push into your standing leg, and come back to Tadasana. Lovely. Keep the hands to the heart and step wide on your mat. So you really want the feet to be as wide as your wrists, more or less. So nice wide stance. Bring the hands onto the hips. Lengthen the tailbone and feel as if you're pressing the feet towards each other. Can you feel the leg muscles start to really work here? So then we're going to start to take the chest, the head forwards, hinging at the hips. So legs stay really strong. Keep it going until maybe you can get the crown of the head to release towards the floor. If that's really tough on your hamstrings, then you can grab a brick or 2 bricks and you can be halfway here. Or you can have your fingertips on the floor. If you've got your hands on the floor, just see if you can soften the elbows to the sides a little bit and let the head go completely. Lovely. Okay, everybody let the hands come to the floor. And hug the legs together one more time. So feel firming of the muscles of the legs. And then start to walk the hands to the left. So maybe the left hand can be on the left foot or the ankle or the shin. And the right hand can start to walk towards the left toes. And then again, bow. Firm the muscles of the legs. So feel as if you're squeezing your feet towards each other. So you're not just hanging out here. There's a muscular energy in the feet, lovely, in the legs. Take another breath here. And then start to walk the hands through the center and take it to the other side. And see if you can point the sit bones straight back. Sometimes when we come into a revolve version of this pose, we start to drop into one of the hips. Can you keep the legs firm, the sit bones pressing back evenly as you take the hands to one side and bow? Lovely. Great. Take another breath here. And then release the hands to the center and come and sit down on the mat. So straighten the left leg out to the side and bring your right foot so that it's to the inner thigh. Yeah, you can have the hips a little bit more open if you've got nice open hamstrings, but do what feels right. And then sit tall. So can you feel both sit bones grounding into the floor? Start to turn towards your bent knee. And again, see, can you feel the belly button coming round? And you can have opposite hand on opposite thigh if that helps. Nice, keep tension out of the neck. And then take your left hand and take it to the inside of your left leg. So we're twisting to the right, but we start to hinge and bend over towards the left. So you're turning to the right and side bending to the left. And you can take hold here maybe of your ankle, or it might be the big toe. And then take the right arm overhead. Looking out to the right. Can you breathe into the right lung? Steady breath. One more inhale here. Find length through the whole of the torso, even the left side. And then start to come up. Take the hands behind just to lift the torso while you open up the right leg and bring the left foot in. And again, make any adjustments. So if that feels too wide for you, then come a little narrower so that you can feel the sit bones on the floor. So work to your own body's needs. And then we start to turn towards the bent knee. And you can have both hands on the floor to just help lever you through. Can you get a lengthening sensation from the sit bones to the crown? Maybe the opposite hand onto the opposite knee. Twist yourself around a little bit more. See if you can keep that rotation, belly button coming round to the left. Take the right hand to the inside of your right leg And then start to slide the hand down to your own degree. So we don't want to lose the twist. So if you find that your chest is starting to come forward, don't go so far. And then take the left arm over. And it will be different on each side. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And from the base of the shoulder blade, reach through the fingertips. Good. Keep twisting the torso, gaze to the left. And find a steadiness to your breath. Breathe into that lung. And let's take an inhale to come back up and come and lie on your back. Hug the knees in when you get there. Press the knees and the big toe joints together so your legs are touching. Great. Release your right arm to the floor. Take your left hand over to the outside of your right knee. And keep the knees hugged in towards the belly as you take the knees to the left. All the way down. So your left hand can help to pin that right knee down. Gaze to the right. So quite a deep twist here. Make any adjustments to the height of your knees. They might want to drop away from you or come a little further in towards the armpit so that you can start to release the body into this twist. And even here, as you close the eyes, can you find breath into the back of the body? And the sides of the body and even into the front of the body, into the twist. See if you can cultivate that sensation of spaciousness. Take one more deep breath here. Roll onto your back, hugging the knees in. And you can just do a little circle of the knees. And then again, sticking the legs together, releasing the left arm out to the side. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee this time. And keeping the knees quite close to the belly, or the thighs close to the belly. Bring the knees to the floor. And you might need to adjust the shoulders a little bit to draw that right shoulder through so you can open the chest to the ceiling. If your neck is happy to turn to the left, then that's great. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, the nose can stay facing the ceiling. And then start to close the eyes and focus on the breath. See if you can still feel the breath coming into the sides, both sides of the torso, and the front of your body and the back of your body as you breathe into the twist. Take one more deep breath here. And then inhale to roll onto the back, hugging the knees in for the last time. And then start to find your way into Shavasana, corpse pose. So bring your feet to the floor. Yeah, you can keep your knees bent or straighten the legs out, separating the feet. So allow the feet to flop out to the sides. Your arms just come to the floor to your sides. If it's comfortable to have the palms up, go ahead and do that, but don't worry. Just see if you can get into a position where you can start to let the tension begin to melt into the floor. Little by little. If your back feels really tight, squeeze the buttocks, press the heels into the floor, and then release them again. See if that lets go of some of the tension in the back of the body. If you need to, just bend your knees. Start to allow the face to relax as you feel the back of the skull release into the floor, the jaw and the eyebrows just softening. Take another really deep breath and breathe into the back, the sides, the front of the body. And as you exhale, feel the body release into the floor just a little bit more. Starting to soften the breath now. Surrender into this relaxation pose, Shavasana. By all means, stay here for longer if you wish. Otherwise, start to breathe more deeply. Again, feeling as if you can draw that breath into the whole 360-degree top to bottom space of the torso. Beginning to allow that breath, that energy come from the torso into the fingertips, into the soles of your feet and the crown of your head. And start to stretch the body with your breath. Starting to find your way back to seated, but take your time. Roll to the side for a moment if you need to. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And with great love and gratitude, namaste.